Tort reform and English only, keeping lawmakers tied up. So, will they finish the session on time?
And two sides come together on one issue. Here's Scott Mitchell with more.
Well, in the old days, the Democrats would bog down amongst themselves, and now the New World Order over in the Senate, actually. But we find it's your bill, the official English bill, that
Say it ain't so.
It's so, and it's your bill, official English, that has work scummed up in the Senate. Why?
Well, listen, this is what happens when there is some reluctance on the part of some Senate members to vote for an issue that has the overwhelming support of the majority of Oklahomans. In fact, the last poll that was conducted, a Tulsa World poll, indicated that more than 88% of Oklahomans favored making English the official language. But instead, we have some soft Senate Republicans, I'll name names. It's Senator Brian Bingman, who voted against it in the Senate Rules Committee, and Senator Patrick Anderson, who is attempting to gum it up with this sham, bogus committee substitute that he's got called Common English, that are giving the leadership fits over there, and as a result, they're kind of held hostage.
Do you love the irony?
Well, it is, because I had to tell you this. Not only does the representative give me fits, but he gives everybody else over there fits, because he's focused, he knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to go after it. It's interesting, Republicans are chewing on Republicans, but folks, there's an issue going on behind the scenes that the representative didn't talk about. The tribes that are in Oklahoma are very powerful these days, and they're putting a lot of political pressure on both the Speaker and the leadership in the Senate to make sure this doesn't get on the ballot.
Don't forget the chamber.
And the chamber, absolutely. And this may or may not get on the ballot, but I can tell you right now, if it does get on the ballot, it will pass overwhelmingly.
Okay, so let's stay with this for just a second, because the rumor mill is rife. That's your bill, combined with the prison controversy, which Republicans keep giving legs to,
right,
and the whole issue of lawsuit reform, or what the issues around lawsuit reform, are just gumming up the works, and that any move Senator Coffey makes right or left really causes him problems.
Well, I agree that he's navigating some very troubled waters, particularly dealing with the different factions in the caucus. Who's for what? What's the priority? Listen, Scott, I wouldn't have thought that there was any linkage between those three issues, but there was a blog that broke the story earlier this week called okpns.com, if you want to go read the story, and apparently there is some linkage behind the scenes. With regard to the prison issue in English, you got those moderate senators that are holding Coffey hostage. Obviously his priority is getting tort reform done, so I suspect that the prison issue goes to the wayside, tort reform takes center stage, and that's the reason that there's the bog down on official English, because it's popular, but they're holding him hostage on it.
Remember when Democrats used to do this stuff?
Well, yeah, they used to do this. I remember being out there in the mid-'80s on stuff, and the House Democrats and the Senate Democrats would fight them, and that's what's happening in the legislature today. The Senate Republicans are just simply bogged down because of President Pro Tem Coffey's situation. But, folks, the thing with the prisons is that they're trying to, this is a movement to privatize core government functions. I don't think it's going anywhere either. But what's really happening at the legislature is inertia. Nothing is moving. The legislature, and that includes the governor as well, is like a boat adrift at sea. It doesn't have a rudder, doesn't have a compass, doesn't have a sail. We don't know where we're going.
And speaking of the Pro Tem, a group of Oklahomans called Oklahomans for Transparency, well, they started these ads against Senator Coffey this weekend. Let's take a look.
When Speaker Lance Cargill got in trouble for failure to pay taxes, the Oklahoma House of Representatives did the right thing and replaced him with a leader we can be proud of. Now Senate Leader Glenn Coffey's in tax trouble too, has missing finance disclosure forms, had his business suspended by the Tax Commission, and refuses to answer questions about a mysterious loan. Newspapers say Coffey should come clean or resign. Call today and ask your state senator to tell Glenn Coffey to do the right thing.
Those are some hard-hitting ads.
Those are hard-hitting ads. Richard, what does that mean for this session?
Well, it's going to, it's First Amendment right. Whoever's doing this has a right to do it. My friend's going to say it's politically motivated. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the people who started these political, independent advocacy-type ads are my friends, the Republicans. And it started in the 2004 election with the SWIFT vote stuff when they attacked Senator Kerry. It's constitutional. They can do it. It will have an impact because the Senate right now, the Republican Senate over there, is just bogged down. They are not moving at all.
And, the prison controversy, the Republicans keep giving it legs.
Well, they do. By the way, it's similar ads that have got Senator Bingman and Senator Anderson apparently upset, and that's creating part of this controversy. Listen, these are hard-hitting negative attack ads. I don't know who the young man is that's sponsoring this, who's the face of these ads, but he is a substitute teacher here in Oklahoma City. There is no way, guys, that he has the money to do this. He's a Democrat political operative, having worked for Henry and Rice's 2008 Senate race. My guess is that it's people who are opposed to tort reform that are funding these ads.
All right. Now, this morning on KOKC, our sister station, where we do Your Vote Counts every Thursday morning at 7:45, you were kind of critical of the press. Richard has a hearing. I don't know how that you and the minority get to have hearings, but he had a hearing about
He's
seniors.
the only one who can do that.
Anyway, two big issues you say the press missed this week.
Well, they missed two issues. The senior issues are the senior nursing care is atrocious in this state, and the fact that the lawsuit reform issues, putting hard caps on lawsuits, are going to hurt our loved ones, our seniors, folks. The press is not out there. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I'm pandering here a little bit, but Channel 9 was the only one that went out there and really did a hard story on it. But Wes Bledsoe is an advocate for seniors. We're going to have another hearing, I believe, on April the 30th. I tried to get the Health Care Authority to come in. They don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it, and I suspect Representative Terrell's going to help me.
Well, so from a committee hearing that is run by the minority comes these two issues. You agree?
Yeah, I do agree, and this is something Representative Morissette and I agree on wholeheartedly. Listen, seniors are precious. They absolutely deserve the protection of state government the maximum amount possible. Wes Bledsoe and his organization, A Perfect Cause, gets a gold star. He is a hero of the year. And by the way, guys, this highlights what has been my continuing concern about these hard caps and tort reform, that people who have little, if any, earning capacity, seniors, kids, disabled people, regardless of age, stay-at-home moms, are the people who are most affected, guys. And by the way, the other thing that surfaced as a social conservative bothers me is they put a guy who is the face, seriously, an aggressive advocate for abortion rights out in front for this tort reform bill. That bothers me.
Well, I agree. We'll have to cover that next week. Back to you. Wow.